Hello and welcome to my channel, Crafting with me, Deannie Jones, and welcome to It's Always Halloween collaboration with my very dear friends Monica of Up All Night DIY and Dawn of Shabby Meets Bling. Let's see what I can come up with, and I thought a little bit of a witchy theme and little houses. What do you think? You want to join me? Let's go. So I've had this house in my stash for a year, and it's just a cute little, look at how cute it is. It's adorable. And I always feel bad because I'm just like, oh, I'm taking a little toy that a little girl can have and I'm making it witchy. But who knows? Maybe someday another little girl will get it and it'll be a little witchy themed kind of cottage. Anyway, I spent, I think, $1 for this, and it was just the cutest little thing. Those papers you see on the side is from a new sponsor called Journal Say. So I will be using some of those papers, but if you're interested, I'll have an unboxing video with them very, very soon. I unboxed it and I took what I wanted, which is for this video. But anyway, here I am, and I'm just using flat or matte folk art paint. You can use that, or you can use chalk paint as well. Needless to say, there's going to be a lot of painting in this first craft. And here I am using my orange, which I just mix like regular orange with a little bit of green or a little bit of blue. And I get that kind of rustic orange look because this is supposed to look like a cabin or a cottage. But I didn't want it to look too woodsy. I don't know if that makes sense. But anyway, it's so cute because this had so many little details all around the little house. Like there's a little cat down there, which is why I left it unpainted. There's a lot of little vines. So, and they just had it all as pink. So I am going to go back and repaint those. Now here I just thought that light blue didn't match, of course. So I'm going to go for a darker, more moody kind of color. It's going to be between blue and green. But yeah, basically all I'm going to do is paint this little house. Again, it was for $2 at Goodwill, but that day it was half off. So I really lucked out on getting this cute little house for $1. And I wanted to actually create this last year because I made several little houses last year. I don't know what it is with me and little houses, but I think because it's small and it's portable and I don't have a lot of big Halloween decorations simply because of the storage space. Now here I am just painting and I'm watching videos of my friends, and here I'm just painting the stones white because I'm doing I think it's called chinking. I'm not sure. That white I guess cement that's in between the stones, and then I'm just gonna go over it with gray, and it did such a nice stone effect on this fireplace, on this chimney. I'm just wiping it down so the white stays in between the stones, and now I'm just going to paint over that in gray, and it came out so cool. I really like the way this turned out. And again, I just love decorating with little like witchy Halloween houses, and surprisingly I don't have a Halloween village simply because of storage and cost. Those are very expensive. But look how nice these stones came out. I think it looks very rustic for this little witchy cottage. And of course, the top is going to be in black. It's an orange and black little cottage for a little witch. Now, this gave me ideas of trying to recreate the house that Kiki from Kiki's Delivery Service. Oh, speaking of which, there's my little black cat, Kudu. Because it's witchy, it's Halloween, she's got to be here. But anyway, a little witch called, and I don't know if anybody's seen this. I love this movie. I watch it at least once a year, especially during Halloween. Kiki's Delivery Service, and it's about a little witch who learns to use her talents to fly to create, like a messenger service, believe it or not. It's a very heartwarming film, and it's fun to watch. And even though it's not necessarily Halloween-y, it's very cute. And yeah, I don't know why this kind of reminded me of Kiki's Delivery Service. Although her house that she lived in, she lived over a bakery. Maybe that's why I like it. She lived over a bakery. That would drive me nuts. I'd be like huge. But anyway, so that sticker that I ripped off of the side there, I'm going to replace with this wonderful polka dot paper. And again, this is from Journal Say. And I thought it was a perfect vintagey Halloweeny paper that I'm going to replace. And I think it's perfect for my little cottage house. I could see a little cottage with that kind of wallpaper inside. I wanted to make it witchy, but not too witchy, because it's like a little witch. Now I'm painting the floors, trying to make them look like wood, because they are wood. They're like wood planks, as you can see there. Now, this is a cute little doll accessory kit from Dollar Tree, of course. And she's perfect. Look at that, perfect size, everything, but I don't like the dress. So of course I'm going to change up the dress. I made it kind of a purpley black, and I even painted her little bootsies. And now I'm making her a tiny little hat, which doesn't make sense because she doesn't fit in the house with the hat. So she's just gonna hang outside, I guess, unless I rip the hat off of her head. Well, I'm not gonna play with this, I'm just gonna have it for display. So I thought it was cute, and altogether I think it all just looks adorable, and it's perfect for any kind of witchy Halloween display. This is a fun and fast and easy one that you can make. These are candlesticks from the Dollar Tree. I've had this in my stash for a while as well. And I'm going to use this coconut liner. Now these are going to look like witches' brooms, but I'm going to do it in two different ways. Why? Because I'm weird like that. Instead of making a set, no, I decided to just, make two different witches' brooms. But I just wanted to show you two different ways of making it. And not only that, I think it would be cool. I mean, I might get some more candlesticks, because I think it would be cool to have like different witch broom styles, I should say. A little broom. But, there's different brooms for different witches. It's just like a car. Everybody's car is not the same. So maybe I'll make another two and make like a set of 4 different little witches' broom candlesticks. So all I'm doing here is gathering, like I just made a slit and passed it through so that it would be surrounding the base of this candlestick. And I'm just gluing it into place, and then I'm going to secure it not only with hot glue, but I'm also going to use this wired jute to wrap around the witch's broom, the bottom of the broom, to make it look more natural and just, make it look like a witch's broom. I think these come out so cute, and it's so fast, easy, and inexpensive. And I think I saw something similar at Kirkland's or something online, and I'm like, are you kidding me? They're charging like $19 or something. And I'm like, what? Less than what? So it's $1.25, less than $5. There you go. Now this is raffia, and it was this big, thick orange raffia, or I don't know if these are like for bouquets or whatever, vase fillers. But look at how pretty. I love this orange, and I think this is one of those Michael's grab bags from a long time ago, and I've just had it sitting around, so I was like, okay, it's time to use it now. So I am going to use this raffia, wrap it around once again as I did before. Use the wired twine and secure that in place, and then I'm going to cover it with a black and white ribbon to kind of connect the two brooms together. And I think this came out so adorable. So this was in clearance at, oh, there she is again. We're doing witchy Halloweeny things. I need my black cat. I need my black cat magic. So look at this beautiful clock I found at Hobby Lobby at 99 cents because somehow it was put together incorrectly, and nobody thought, oh, let me just pop out the clock part and just put it back in the right way. But that's fine. It's my benefit. And it used to be $14.99, which, usually is 40% off, but my goodness, $14.99. I'm so used to shopping. Well, now Goodwill is getting just as expensive. But anyway, I have these beautiful papers, once again, from Journal Say, and one of these had all these spooky, haunted mansions. So I definitely wanted to have that in the backdrop of my clock. First things first, though, I need to make a backdrop. So I need to make, I was using this cardboard, but it wasn't thick enough, so I actually got like cardboard, and I'm just giving you a preview of all these beautiful papers from Journal Say. So I actually cut out cardboard from like one of my Amazon boxes. Here I'm trying to choose which design would be best. I kind of first I tried with these other papers and I didn't like them. I didn't like it, so I decided to make it like a real spooky background with that haunted mansion. And then on either side of the haunted mansion, I ripped another piece of paper. There you go, just to frame that beautiful haunted mansion. And I think this is a perfect backdrop for my spooky little girls. And the spooky little girls that you see in this video are from my friend Giselle. Giselle, she shares her spooky Halloweeny stuff with me and many others. I really appreciate her. Not only do we work together, we craft together, we thrift together. So it's really, really fun. And we are planning another trip to Mount Dora for a mega yard sale that they have up there. So looking forward to that and hoping it's not as hot. But look at how beautiful that looks. I love it. It looks almost like, I almost felt bad covering it up, but I wanted to make an assemblage. So using these cute little dolls that Giselle gave me, of course I need to add some styrofoam to the bottom of this clock face. It's hilarious. I have my reading glasses on top of my head instead of on my eyes. Isn't that cute? I'm just using my reading glasses to hold my hair back pretty much as a headband. So sorry that my head kind of peeked in there for a minute. But this styrofoam is perfect to anchor all the cutesy little things like those cute little pumpkins and these dolls. Now, I know you get used to me making a lot of assemblages because I have a lot of little things and they're just sitting around in boxes. So this is why I love creating assemblages. And I always wish that and I got this little bottle from my stash, and this is usually, you can find these little brown bottles in Dollar Tree. Actually, you get a set of 4, and I thought it would be cute. It has like witch's brew on it because I wanted to make this kind of spooky, kind of witchy. Are they ghosts? Are they witches? And then I had this fabric that I had dyed for my little primitive Halloween. And I'm going to do more primitive Halloween. I really do like primitive Halloween. So I got to come up with more ideas, more creatures or critters that I would like to introduce to my primitive Halloween display. But I thought this made like a pretty cute kind of curtain. And it matches the other little girl's dress with the stripes and the orange. I think it was perfect. I had that little cross added in because that cemetery has a little cross in it. And I think this is just turning out so cute. And of course, if you're doing anything spooky and creepy, we need some spooky, creepy moss. So adding the moss here to the bottom just to cover up that styrofoam. And also to add some dimension. The thing about assemblages, it's all about dimensions, different textures, different types of things. It could be flat 2D designs, it could be 3D little objects and items. You don't have to spend a lot of money. It's the best way to just use little knickknacks and bric-a-brac that you have hanging around the house and make a little display of it. So yes, I will be making more assemblages for Halloween. I have a couple of tea tins that are perfect, pumpkin spice tea tins that are perfect either for Halloween or for fall. So, and one of the things I do, one of the tricks, and I'm sorry I didn't talk about it while I was doing it, is when you have any kind of paper products, always line the outside, outline the item in black so you don't see the white. And also you can age them. So that's why I have those stamps and my little daubers just to age the items a little more. And now I'm just gluing that background into place. And I think it came out to be a really cute little assemblage. I'm going to fix it up a little more, and this is going to be perfect. And once again, I love small decor items to put on your desk or on tiered trays anywhere in your house this Halloween. Thanks again to my friends Dawn of Shabby Meets Bling and Monica of Up All Night DIY for co-hosting It's Always Halloween collaboration with me. Please check out their links to their channels and all the channels that have joined us in this collaboration to have some more Halloween crafting fun. Thanks again for stopping by, and if you enjoyed this, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Most importantly, stay safe, be kind, God bless each and every one of you, and remember to live the adventure, and I'll see you again soon.